what the fuck? I'm like, okay.
You either get your wish or you're sleeping. So like, tell me what it is.
Exactly.
We have such sights to show you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Four Dead Losers podcast. We are three of the Four Dead Losers. I'm Ramito.
I'm Jordan.
Amanda.
And today we're going to be talking about The Long Walk. Ooh, spooky, kind of. So, Jordan, not spoiler thoughts. What'd you think of the movie?
Overall, I really enjoyed it. It was one of those movies that I think since the first time I saw the trailer, I was pretty much hooked. Like, I knew I wanted to watch it whenever it came out. I feel like it ended up delivering for what I was expecting. It was a pretty brutal watch. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much, but it was a pretty brutal watch. Kind of a bleak movie, but yeah, I thought it was executed very well. Probably the best it could have been for, the whole concept of it. Obviously, there's some constraints because of what the story is. I've also never read the book, so there's that. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I've had trouble hammering down a rating. I'd probably give it a 9.
9 out of 10?
That's kind of high.
Yeah.
That's really high. Dang. Okay. Is this so far? This one and Sinners are your top 2 that's come out this year so far, I guess. Because Sinners, I think you gave it 10, right?
I did. Out of the ones we've reviewed, I'm gonna get roasted. I also gave 28 Years Later a 9.5, which is what I was kind of
That's
talking
You rated
about.
that one higher than this one?
Yeah, retroactively, I probably would have given that one like a 9 also. That's what I was torn about because I almost wanted to give this one a 9.5 just so it would be equal.
Yeah.
But it feels like a 9 to me. We also watched Weapons, which we haven't reviewed. I don't know if we're ever going to review. But that one would probably be somewhere in that top 4 also.
Weapons was really good. Okay, 9 out of 10. Amanda?
So I'm going to start with my rating, okay? So personally, I would probably give this movie a 5 out of 10. And I feel like that's kind of being generous for me. So I did also think that this movie was pretty gruesome. I kind of expected that because of the trailers. But I think watching this movie, the only thing I got out of it that I didn't get from the trailer was the ending and the gore. So I almost feel like, I understand like you did what you could with what the film is, right? Like the plot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't say it was a waste of my time. It was a pretty enjoyable movie, but there were parts there where it was losing me and I was kind of falling asleep. There were also parts, too, that I almost had to look away because of how gruesome it was getting. So I think for that's probably what carried it to a 5 because the effects were done really well. But other than that, I don't really think I have too much more to say about this film.
Yeah. One of the... I'm 90% sure that one of the conditions that Stephen King had for this movie to become an adaptation was that they had to film and the audience had to see every single shot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, every single, I guess they refer to it as a ticket, but we had to see all of them.
There were some rough ones that really
Yeah.
startled me.
Yeah.
And I could really feel.
Not spoiler thoughts for myself. I did enjoy this movie, just like how we've alluded to thus far. The plot is kind of straightforward, right? It's literally in the title.
Yeah.
But I did. With that being said, one of the things, because of the plot being so simple, the acting from all of these characters had to be front and center, and it had to be like one of the best things out of the movie, or else the entire thing would fall apart. And I think they did really good. I thought everybody was like pretty believable. So for myself, rating out of 10, I'd give this like a 7.5 out of 10. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get to spoiler section. If you haven't seen the movie, this would be a good time to go ahead, pause, like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff, come back later. But until then, this is gonna be your spoiler warning. So we're gonna get into it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the movie basically starts with an acceptance letter, right? And we get to read what it is, or I can't remember if it's narrated or what.
I think it's just typed. Yeah, you have to
Just
read
typed.
it.
About this, it's sent to one of our contestants. His name will be Ray, and is basically congratulating him on being selected to take part in the Long Walk. So then we get to watching Ray be dropped off by his mom. some background, I guess, about the Long Walk is that it's set in the United States, and every single state has one competitor, and Ray is the Long Walk is taking place in his state. So his mom was able to bring him and basically drop him off. They check his identification as he goes in, all that kind of good stuff. They want to make sure that they have the right person showing up.
Sorry, I thought this was really interesting though. When they took his ID to let him in, they kept it.
They kept it.
They didn't give it back.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, right? Because we find out a little more about his backstory later. Also, this was the point in the film. I know it's like right at the beginning, which Amanda had caught on to it. I guess maybe I just was like, for some reason, thought there was going to be a twist. I wasn't sure, like during this whole delivery thing, if they knew they were going to die. Like, I didn't know if this was the first Long Walk or if it was going to be like a plot twist. Because I feel like the trailers kind of made it seem like they didn't know it was going to happen. But like, again, retroactively, it makes sense why, especially like you see it more emotion between the mom and the kid later, that there's like,
Yeah.
Because she's even asking him like, or telling him he should have backed out of it, essentially.
Yeah.
Because I guess like, even though they sign up for it, they're not forced to do it if they get selected, it seems like.
There's a cutoff date.
They have a date, like they have time to back out, so.
And so once his identification gets checked and all that good stuff, he ends up at the starting line with the rest of the competitors. Here we get some banter between all of the different guys who are going to compete. We meet basically like our
crew,
crew. So in this little section, this is where we're introduced to Peter. We're introduced to Hank. We're introduced to Stebbins and Gary. Gary, they refer to him by his last name later on.
Also, Arthur. I don't know if they call him Baker or Arthur. I don't remember.
I feel like Baker sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Baker.
He's one of like the main guys.
Yeah, so while not all 50 contendants get their own time to shine, but these are the main people that we're going to be sticking with for the rest of the movie.
With like, as far as I understood it, Barkovich for sure and Stebbins are both portrayed as like negative characters essentially. Like they're the non-positive, the one the audience isn't supposed to like.
Right. And so after their, banter and all that good stuff, the Major arrives. The Major played by Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill. Or if you watch Batman the Animated Series, the Joker. So he basically does a roll call, making sure that everybody's there. Calls the name, gives them their dog tag. The dog tag has a number for every single person. And so...
You also notice, like, in this moment that Ray, I think, is the only one we see that doesn't let them put the dog tag on him.
Yeah,
he, like, rips it away
and
and then walks away. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he has a little bit of attitude with it.
With the Major?
Yeah.
Yeah, which we find out later on with the lore dump. So basically what happens here is that once everybody gets their dog tags, the Major gives everybody a pep talk, right? Basically saying that there was a war 19 years ago that ravaged the country, and so now they've been having this long walk, and after every single one, they see a ramp in GDP growth and productivity in the country. So their train of thought is like, the more that we have, the more productive our society will be.
It's very like dystopian,
propaganda
oriented.
Because he says that they have an epidemic of laziness.
Yeah.
Oh, and another thing that they're given. While the dog tags are being passed out is they're giving like little watches that keep track of their speed.
Yeah, I didn't know how serious they were going to be about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought it was going to be like if you fall behind the pack, but it's like if you speed up and you get way far ahead, you have to still, like, you can't drop that.
You have to keep the pace, and so the pace that they have to maintain is 3 miles an hour,
which is kind of fast. If you like, I don't know, it's pretty fast to be walking that long.
I believe you. I don't work out, so.
On the treadmill, what do we do? Like 2.8?
Yeah.
In speed usually, and that's kind of pushing a walk for me. 2.8.
3 is like almost the max of what I can walk before it turns into jogging. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and his legs are a lot longer than ours, so.
Especially, and that's not even going like up hills or anything.
Yeah, imagine my step count if I was in this movie. In comparison to yours,
That's
I'd be double.
And then we also get the rule that it's essentially you're going to get 3 warnings. After the third one, you get your quote-unquote ticket.
And you get one drops off every hour. So
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That makes sense.
The crazy thing is it doesn't, and like it becomes important later that they don't immediately drop off. So like if you hit warning 2 and then you get back up to pace, you're automatically on warning 3 if one of them hasn't fallen off.
Yeah.
Just kind of crazy.
Oh,
and
yes.
you can't leave the pavement.
Yeah, so the other rule is that you can't leave the path that they're on, which is essentially just a street. I'm assuming that it's a straight road because I don't remember seeing any curves.
It seems
or
straight,
anything
yes.
like that.
Yeah, I
There's
don't think there was any
inclines and
turns,
stuff,
but yeah, it goes up
Yeah.
and down for sure.
Which, did they build this road specifically for this, or they just found a really... Because they go for like, what, 300 miles?
I think they might just find a really long road.
Yeah.
Because I'd imagine that there's something like that.
Because I don't think we ever... I know...
Because there's towns that they go through.
Do we ever get confirmed that it's like technically America? Besides like the 50
states.
Well,
Yeah.
it's 49. There was 49 dog tags.
Yeah,
instead
for
of
some reason there was
50.
one missing.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
But I don't know if they ever dropped... Because they mentioned that Garrity is like the hometown guy, but I don't know if they ever dropped names or anything. Like of where,
I don't think
what state.
so.
Where everybody's from?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they do. And so... Let me see something.
Actually, I think it might be a functioning road because that tractor's at the stop sign. Like the intersection.
And they approach a gas station later
And they
on,
go through
and
like
there's
towns
somebody-
and stuff. Yeah.
These towns are established.
Mm.
And so then the long walk basically starts. At the end, they're going to get their prize, and we find out later on that not only do they get riches, but they also get one wish. And they can wish for whatever they want. Another thing is that the major doesn't allow spectators unless they live in the town and they're just kind of there, or it's the final 2. Then people can start watching. So then the long walk starts, and we end up like basically right away. Dude number 5 like stops to take a rock out of his shoe, and in the first and they just started. I think they even said like, "Hey, we've only been at this for a mile."
That's Barkovich, right?
No, it's somebody else.
Oh, it's not the guy with the long hair?
It's the guy who they think is 16.
I don't remember. I just know, yeah, somebody with the boot and they stop. They're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And they're yelling at him
Really,
to
really
get
early
up.
on. Did
Yeah.
we mention... It's funny that the major doesn't allow spectators, but this is being broadcast, right?
Yes, it is.
With like, very clear,
Live
large
TV.
cameras, yeah.
So then this guy gets his 3 warnings right from the get-go, but just like we were saying earlier, if you walk at the correct pace or faster, or at least 1 hour, then 1 warning will drop off, and so on and so forth. So then they reach mile 7. Our main guy, Ray, basically says that the system forces them to sign up, and this isn't really like a free will kind of thing, right? That the country is basically, pushed into poverty, so this is the only way to get out of it. So the first one we get is mile 7. Our main guy, Ray, whose number is 47, basically says like that the system is all rigged, and that's why people have to sign up. It's because everybody was sent into poverty from the war that occurred 19 years ago, and this is the only way out. And so I thought it was, kind of like, yeah, get them. So they're passing by this church at number 7, whose name is Thomas. He gets a cramp in his leg, and everybody's like, all right, like, oh, this is going on, or this is basically starting to happen. So Ray runs over to him and basically like tries to help him up to keep the pace, and it's not working.
I remember this one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Now
like
that I
coaching
remember.
him through the cramp.
Because he's
trying
like,
to.
he looks like a really young kid.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think when we're introduced to all the other characters, it comes out that his age is like 18 or something. Because I think they're talking about like he was the only one. He was essentially the youngest one there, so
Yeah.
everyone was kind of already concerned, right?
Yeah, Hank was like, if you're over the age of 18, then I'm like, enter joke here. I forget what he says, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
they're heckling him. But he gets his 3 warnings, and he's not able to pick up the pace, and he receives his ticket, and we see like I think this like jaw, everything.
yeah.
Like,
This one
thumbs
was
up.
rough. Because this is also, it's the initial
And
one.
this was like one of the few shots, at least that I remember, where it's like straight, like dead
It's super
center, like
close.
he's
Yeah,
right in the
he's-
middle
yeah.
of this entire
And
scene.
I feel like, obviously, I mean, going in, I knew that it was going to be pretty gory, and it's rated R. But I feel like it's the moment that a lot of movies would have cut away. So you're kind of...
For sure.
Like,
yeah.
I just feel like you're not prepared when you're watching it. And it sets the tone that once you watch that one, you realize, oh yeah, we're going to see all of these.
Yeah. We see a lot more too. But after he receives his ticket, we get the title card, The Long Walk. So then we get some more propaganda from the Major, basically saying that the first person to go and the last person to go are the two that should be celebrated, because it's essentially the start of everything and then the end, right? One thing, so rewinding a little bit, number 47, Ray, when he's helping Timothy, or number 7, this is something that we're going to see a lot, is that, like, even though everybody knows that only one person is going to be at the end, they try their best to make sure that everybody makes it as long as they can. So then after the title card and the celebration from the Major, we move on to mile 17. Here is where, like, we start to get people talking about getting tired. So our main guy Ray and number 23 are basically having a conversation about this, and they start passing through a town. And so this is being broadcast, right? Just like you were saying, and there's somebody in the town who has a sign that says, like, yeah, go Ray, or something like that.
Yeah. The fan.
Like a little girl, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Here, after we get the fan, number 23, whose name is Peter. So 47 and 23 are two protagonists. They're the two main characters out of the entire thing. Everybody's going to get their chance to shine, but they are like the center of the movie. And their relationship is the center of the movie. So at this point, this is where we start to see, like, the relationship start to develop. So 23, like, makes a joke. He says that if you fall, I'm not going to pick you up. And, well, that's foreshadowing for later. So then one of the people, not too long after that comment, falls onto the ground. This is our number 1, and he starts seizing. And, of course, he isn't able to get up in time or recover from his seizure, so he receives his ticket.
That's one where we just see, like, yeah, he had no choice.
It's in the, I think,
like,
it's in the background,
walking.
right, or something?
Honestly,
Yeah, I think they keep walking over him, and
after that first one, every other ticket, I was covering my eyes unless I could tell that it was going to kind of be in, like, the background, because I was like, no.
There was
like,
one,
which I'm fine with gore typically, but that's just usually not something you see. And I told Jordan, I was like, when the effects were so good, like the makeup or whatever, like it was so realistic, and I was like, the fact that there had to have been some sort of, like, scientific reasoning behind the makeup that they chose made me feel icky, because I was like, that's probably what it would legit
I also feel like the sound design, I feel like the movie was pretty quiet outside of that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, those were like extra
they really,
loud.
I don't even remember if they're the soundtrack or not, or if there's,
I think
like,
there are. I remember
consistently.
at the very, very end with our final 2, there's one.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if there's, like, while they're walking, I don't
Yeah.
remember there being
I don't remember which one it is, and I've told Amanda this multiple times. There's one in the middle of the movie that, like, shook me out of my seat. I don't remember. It was another one that I feel like was a close-up that happened kind of quickly. But
I'm sure we'll come across
I feel like it's also hard because they kind of, we'll get to it more later, but they kind of toy with them. So there's some that, like, after the final warning, you don't really know when exactly it's coming. Like,
Yeah.
they kind of toy with them, especially towards the end and with some of the kills. But
Yeah. So then this is where Peter, number 23, and Ray, number 47, basically are, like, talking after number 1 received his ticket. And they say, one of them says that they're hoping that that part keeps getting easier. And the other one says, well, that's what I'm afraid of. Right? Kind of normalizing this, like, tragedy that they're going through. While they're kind of talking, they realize that they're walking at a speed of 3.4 miles an hour. So then they reel back a little bit and go to 3 miles an hour, which I think is, like, why. I personally, if I knew that I would be walking for however long, I would try my best to, like, maintain that 3 miles an hour.
be right on
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, because, or at least 3.1, because if you fall to 2.9, and it's really sensitive. One of the contestants tests how like how much leeway
Pretty sure
they're
it's
gonna
Stebbins.
give.
Yeah.
It's Stebbins. How much leeway they're gonna give, and it's pretty much none. You hit 2.9, you get your warning. One thing that we should have mentioned, but this is my bad, is that Stebbins is the Major's son.
Yes.
We learned this during roll call.
We do?
We do?
I thought we find this out at the end.
During roll call, because somebody makes a comment about him being the Major's son. I forget who it is. And then while he's getting his dog tag, the Major says, "This one's for you, son." And that's the only one.
Oh, I
Like
didn't
the-
Oh
realize.
yeah, I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that either.
He says son too. Everybody else is like, "Here you go." So then then we approach a death that I felt really bad for, where basically Stebbins is talking to. So Stebbins is number 5. He's heckling another contestant, basically saying like, "Your mom XYZ," and then this other guy like throws a punch at number 5. Misses, gets his warning.
It was Barkovich.
Yeah, it's Barkovich. Yeah. My bad, not Stebbins.
And the other guy, I don't know if we ever know the other guy's name.
No, I think that was the first time we see him, really.
He's like walking in the front of the pack.
He's number 19, if you're wondering.
Rank. His name's Rank. Oh, because he's making fun of his name.
Yes.
That's part of it. He's making fun of him being named Rank.
Mm-hmm.
That's really that's part of the altercation.
So then number 5 is basically like bullying Rank to the point to where Rank gets his 3 warnings and doesn't stop trying to take swings at him. And then he receives his ticket.
He eats pavement before he receives his ticket, too.
Yeah.
He hits the floor, yeah. And is this the one where he hits the floor and he like...
Yeah,
and
like he puts his head up a little bit and it's like, it's all slid off, essentially.
Yeah.
I feel like we see this one up close, too. This ticket.
We see his face. I don't think we see him getting the ticket.
I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
But this is... And it's very clear... But I'm pretty sure like very early in the movie when they're all sitting in the circles... Barkovich is getting kind of, number 5, is getting kind of like goofed on. But after this, it's very clear that he's not mentally stable, is what I would say. Like, this specific incident, you can tell he kind of feels guilt over, and it basically leads to his downfall eventually.
Yeah. After this is where everybody's like, basically starts to isolate him, right? And like, you're not somebody we want to associate with.
He's the asshole of the group.
Yeah. So then, number 19 receives his ticket. Do we want to talk about the guy who shits his pants?
I almost threw up.
Okay.
Apparently some people...
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So number 19 receives his ticket. So the next ticket that we see is very... is something else.
It's just nasty.
Is this the guy? Isn't he pooping outside of his pants first?
He is.
Yeah,
So
it's bird.
So this is number 45. Somebody comes over to Ray and says, "Hey, number 45 basically has the bubble guts."
This is Ronald.
Yeah. And so you could like hear the rumbling in his stomach, and like he pulls his pants down to relieve himself, but he slows down, and everybody's like, "Bro, what the heck?"
And it's
because he's trying to walk,
but
like
it's also it's not solid. And we find out in a different like filming shot that he wasn't in. I thought he was in the back of the group. He was not in the back.
No, everybody was walking through it.
Everybody was able to smell it. But oh my gosh, I wanted to cry. That was so gross.
I was watching a review of this movie just to kind of see other people's thoughts.
It was real.
Bruh.
Probably.
I'm wondering how they did that. He clenched so hard it was coming out. Like they put a bottle in between his cheeks.
But yeah, apparently people really like. Obviously, the gore is unsettling, but people really draw the line at like feces. Apparently, that's
it was
more
gross.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he end up crapping in his pants though? I can't remember. Like.
I mean, it gets all over his pants.
I don't remember.
Because he's like squat walking.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I don't remember how exactly he gets his ticket. Like, did he just slow down too much?
Yeah,
I feel like he just gives up and like.
I think what happens is he's pulling down his pants, realizes that he got his 3rd one, pulls them up, goes in his pants, tries to pull them back down to get one last squeeze out, and then while he's doing that, that's when he gets.
I feel like he gets his ticket in the background.
Over, like, with his pants still down.
Yeah.
And they show it on the road, bro. They like pan in the freaking puddles.
Which is things like, I mean, I'm glad they showed all this. It's
no.
No, but it's very real and like the.
I mean, it makes sense.
Walking that long, you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was gross.
Yeah, so that's one that happens. And then we get the mile marker, boop, mile 35. So the major gives another pep talk. Okay, cool, he's just spewing propaganda. Here we get a lot more like relationship development between Ray and Peter. They basically like talk about girls, talk about like how Peter's mom made him cookies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I will say, and I'm bringing this up because of the mile markers. I remember when Ray first gets dropped off, he tells his mom, like, "I'll see you in a few days." I don't know why I thought it was really only going to be a few days. I'm pretty sure at the end of it, they go like 5 nights or something.
I remember there being 5 days.
Which I guess they technically sleep a little.
Yeah,
we see
I
Ray
didn't
like
understand
sleepwalking.
that. I mean, we see it. We can talk about it a little bit later, but I didn't understand.
But it's pretty
Well,
creepy
we're
that
about
they're
to
going
get
that
into
long.
Oh. I mean, I guess.
Because after this, talk about girls. That's where we see the sign that they're about to start going uphill.
Oh, yeah. That's when we lose like
Yeah.
half the group.
We lose 14. They see a sign that says that there's an incline in the road coming up. And so because the road is inclined, it's harder to keep that pace up. So everybody is starting to get warnings left and right. And then as like, it's not even 2 minutes go by until we start hearing like shots or anything like that. It's like 30
Is
seconds.
it raining?
And then
I
they start.
can't remember.
It's not raining yet, but it's nighttime.
It's nighttime. Okay.
But yeah, so they start going uphill and then people start dropping like flies.
Which is kind of whack, right? Like they did the mass buy, I guess, in the dark.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine, I get it, but like, okay.
Gotta say the budget.
That was a cop-out.
I agree. So then we get the so before the hill happened, again more relationship development. 43 Ray tells Peter like, "Man, get away from me, XYZ. I don't like you." And then
Yeah.
ultimately Peter is the one who keeps Ray alive as they're going uphill because he basically puts an arm around him to keep the pace going up. And this is where Peter apologizes. Ray apologizes to Peter for what he said.
Yeah, because he tells him, like, you're just one of them, like, you're just pretending like this, but you want me to get my ticket.
Right, because then he like speeds up in front. I do remember that.
Which I thought that was kind of random, his switch up.
I don't remember what led up to
he was just
it.
tired. I feel like it just came out of nowhere, but I mean, it had to happen, right? Like, for
I think it's just the
relationship
mental
development.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get the next mile marker, which is 59, and day 2. So Ray and Peter just, basically have another heart-to-heart like conversation, and then I wish that like I had more pieces of like this specific dialogue that they said because I feel like the dialogue was really well written.
I feel like it was. I feel like it added a lot.
And like it had to be, right? Because the plot is they're walking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if there's no dialogue, then we're just going to see them start and then see them end. Like, there would be nothing to watch in between.
Exactly. So then, number 23, which is Peter, he basically tells Ray, hey, like, when my time comes, I think I'm just going to sit down and let it happen. And so then that's when I'm like, I don't know about that kind of stuff. And then we get like the little hint that there's only 18 people left. So they started with, what did y'all say, 49?
49, I believe, yes.
And then now there's only 18 on the second day. So then we get to mile 67, and number 49 isn't looking too hot. So what I forgot to mention, when they were going uphill, number 49 broke his ankle.
See, I didn't
know
catch
when he
that
broke
going
it.
uphill. Yeah, I just saw it
when he
later.
was going uphill.
And 49, mind you, was also writing a book about this experience,
Yes,
right?
he was.
It
That
was.
was him. Which I thought was funny because they even tell him, they're like, well, only one of us makes it out. Like, you won't need a book to be rich, essentially.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, he's the geeky kind of journalist guy.
He's the artistic type.
And they show this in the trailer, at least like the broken ankle.
Yeah, him like limping along with it.
Yeah.
So we get basically his demise is what we see here.
I
Which
do
the
remember
fact
because
that
he mentions he twisted it.
He kept it up that long.
It's a little
Yeah.
more than
On
twisted.
3 miles per hour, that's
Almost-
crazy. No
almost
wonder it
10
looked the way
miles
it
after,
did.
yeah.
And they show you like the clear shot of his ankle and
And
him
it's like
walking
at
on
a
it.
90-degree
He's like
angle.
walking on the nub of his foot.
Oh,
yeah,
for
his
sure.
ankle's just.
Yeah. It's crazy. So then after he receives his ticket, Peter and Barkovich, is that his name?
That's the.
Number
Guy with
5?
the bandana?
Yeah.
Okay, so Peter and number 5 basically are starting to go at it verbally. And number 5 drops the line. He tells Peter, I have plans for you, motherfucker. It's
He
like,
does,
oh,
yeah.
dang. Like, he gives off, just not great vibes.
Yeah. He seemed like if anybody was gonna do something to sabotage one of the other people again,
yeah.
he already did it basically.
And that's what I was expecting to happen. Spoiler alert. We're already in spoiler sections, but that's what I was expecting to happen like the entire movie.
I was waiting for
Nobody
him to
does that.
like trip some. Yeah, nobody ends up
Yeah.
causing anybody else harm.
I don't know when it is, but when Barkovich, that's his name, when
Mm-hmm.
he's talking to Ray, this can get, I don't know how much further this is. But when Barkovich is talking to Ray and he has his arm around
I thought he
him
was
the
gonna do
entire
something.
time, I was waiting. I was like anxious
This
because
is
I
closer
thought
to the
I
end,
thought he was gonna
but-
do something to him. but they never did.
Yeah.
So
we end up in mile 100, and this is where number 38, so Stebbins is starting to show signs that he has like the flu or something, which is like awful because at first he's like, no, it's just allergies, but then we see it start to develop more and more as the movie goes on.
And he's like he gives off like the try-hard type. Like he's very quiet into himself, and he seems like he's convinced he's going to be the one that wins.
Yeah, and everybody else kind of gets that same like idea, right? Like, hey, we're here to win, but like, how are we going to compete with this Greek god over here?
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And then number 31. So as they're walking through a small town, number 31 decides to take a run off of the path. And he tries to make it to the store, but he doesn't make it. They give him
a couple tickets.
Yeah, he got a lot. He received a lot.
And he broke that glass door.
Yeah, he did.
Like, I think he broke it with his body, and then they kept going, I guess.
That was a crazy one. Because he just, like, books it, bro.
Yeah.
So then we get mile 103, and this is when they start talking about their different wishes. And number 23, I believe it's him, I believe it's Peter, says that if he wins, he'll wish for, his wish will be that the long walk has 2 winners. So that way you and your friend can make it. And that's when I was like, oh, okay.
That's when you can really tell how close the relationship is.
I really like Peter. I thought he was good. So that's 23's wish, and 47, Ray, basically says that, oh, I have a wish, but I'm not going to share it with you. And I'm like,
that guy.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, okay.
You either get your wish, or you're sleeping, so like, tell me what it is.
Exactly. But he does say that his wish will change the world. Like main character syndrome, right? Like,
sure.
Bro, what a fucking loser, right?
You go easy on my guy.
Okay, sorry.
And then this is where basically everybody starts chanting, or he gets, because of that, what Ray said, like his wish basically is going to change the world, then that's when everybody starts chanting, fuck the long walk, fuck the major.
Yeah, and Peter was, I'm pretty sure, one of the starting people in that. And I don't know why I was scared. I think just because the tone the major sets, and some of the flashbacks we see later on, I don't know. I had the feeling somebody was going to get shot for saying that.
Well, the son...
Like, I thought people were going to get tickets for saying that.
Yeah, the son was like, oh, the major's not a good target to have.
Or
something like that.
Yeah.
Which I guess, it's foreshadowing for the very, very, very...
I guess it didn't break the rules, but it was like... I mean, this is being broadcast, and the point of it is to be, like, pro-America, essentially. So them yelling that on live TV was kind of...
Yeah,
and the guy starts playing the song, right? Where'd you get the speaker from? You just had it.
Yeah, he showed up with the speaker.
Or the radio, whatever it was. I don't know.
Yeah. So then, let's see. So this is where it starts to rain. This is where we get where it's raining really bad. Just more dialogue, right? Peter is keeping pace with...
there were a couple nights where it kind of just like cut off and then cut to day. So I think this was one of them.
I think we probably missed it, but they sleepwalk. Like, the way that Ray and Peter do it is that one of them will stay awake and basically put the arm around the other one and maintain that 3 miles an hour while the person is sleeping.
I'm pretty sure one of them...
he's eating the cookie, Ray, and then he falls asleep and he has like that flashback of his mom, but we don't see the other half.
That's when we just see his mom.
She's just
and I think that
song.
is right before the incline, because he wakes up and he has to
You're
book
right.
it.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So then we get mile... What is this?
144.
I think you're right. So then we get the next mile marker, 144 at day 3. And Peter basically gets a baseball that his mom, or that he packed with him, and they start playing catch. I thought that this would have been like something that happened throughout the movie, or throughout the rest of the movie, because they keep the ball, but we just see it here for like 4 seconds.
I don't know why. I mean, the ball's not that important, but in the beginning they give it some sentimental value. I don't know why I thought one of them was going to drop it.
Yeah,
I know. Gonna be like
I know that it's Peter's dad's ball.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming, like, in the book, it probably plays a bigger role.
Right.
But I haven't read the book, so I don't know. But this is where number 6, who's...
That's Arthur.
Arthur Baker, who's another character who basically takes a more upfront role in the second half of the movie.
He's part of, like, the main 4. It's them, it's Ray, Peter...
Baker, and Hank.
Yeah.
The 3 naked ladies.
Oh, man, what a crazy guy.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny when they were like, you realize somebody's gonna have to pay them to be there. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think of it like that. I was like, oh my god. He was the comedic relief of the
He
movie.
was.
That was Hank's wish. When they were talking about the wishes, Hank's wish was to get three naked ladies. And I think Peter's like, you realize you're gonna be rich, so you can have as many naked ladies as you want.
Yeah.
And he talks about like the moral of like, well, I don't want to have to pay for them. And they're like, well, you realize somebody's gonna have to pay for them.
Yeah. R.I.P. Hank. I liked him too. So.
Hey, we don't know if he won yet. What do you think?
So Baker basically like has to use the facilities, but he can't. So he like pops a squat.
He
puts it
fully
out on the-
squats.
Yeah,
No
he
walking,
does.
man.
He gets his 2 warnings, and then
They're like, just
back to the
pinch
ski.
it off.
Yeah. But he's considerate. He waits until everybody passes him up,
Yeah.
and then
He does do it at the end, yeah.
And then
Oh, he even because then he gets back to Ray and Peter tells him like respectfully, "Can you walk away from us? 'Cause you stink?"
yeah, because he didn't wipe his butt.
Yeah.
So-
Because everyone else was like, don't pull your pants down, just let it roll down the leg. I was
Yeah.
like, that's gross.
That is
Oh
because
my
what if it's
gosh.
not solid?
I know, literally.
That's crazy.
I guess the rain would have washed it off at some point.
So after Arthur relieves himself, Ray and Peter basically have another heart-to-heart, and this is where we find out where Ray's wish is. So Ray's wish is for a carbine, basically the firearm that the guards have, so that way he can turn it onto the major.
Which made sense to me, or like we got a foreshadow earlier because he asked for a canteen earlier in the movie, and he like
He
taps
touches the
it.
gun?
Yeah, and
For
Peter
good
asks
luck.
him why, and he says for good luck. So
Like knocking on wood, I think is what he says.
you don't want to give it all.
True. So then we get the flashback of basically Peter's life, right? And so the rest of that scene that Amanda was talking about earlier is essentially the police show up and they capture Ray's dad for showing like banned art, right? So this is the whole dystopian portion of
Yeah, it gave me the vibe
society.
that it was like he was whatever his art was anti the
Yeah,
cause or whatever.
anti-establishment, because they name drop bands, and I wish I wrote them down, but it was so quick. And they list like 5 of them.
Yeah, it seems like they've outlawed it's very dystopian.
Mm-hmm. And so so Ray's dad is basically given the choice by the major. Either you denounce all of these things and you pledge your allegiance to the country, or you're going to, receive your ticket even though you're not on the long walk. And he chooses to receive his ticket. And I thought that Peter's response to this was so wild, because Peter looks at him dead in the eyes and says, he chose to leave you.
What? Yeah,
He does.
yeah, he does say that.
I was like, oh my god.
Because
I mean, he's not wrong.
Ray was trying to talk
Yeah.
about how courageous his dad was, and I think it was Peter trying to be essentially trying to talk Ray out of essentially harming somebody else isn't courageous because of what Ray's wish was.
And then he was also telling him why throw it all away? Like, if you win this, to wish for that, you just
because
do everything
he's telling him
away.
you're gonna leave your mom behind.
Yeah,
And
so essentially he
saying,
was like, don't choose the same thing your
don't-
dad did. Don't leave your
because
mom.
of the pain. Yeah.
Right.
And have we gotten to the point where, because he's the hometown boy, Ray has to walk and see his mom? I don't know if we've gotten to
Well,
that.
No,
Not
not
yet.
yet. But I know that the one guy with the long hair, he mentions that. He's like, yeah, but usually this is your home state. And then everyone else is like, well, not really. He's going to see his family or his
Yeah.
mom.
So after the whole wish thing, we get to mile 170. This is number 24's ticket. He basically strips down to his underwear and tries to run off the track. It doesn't work in his
He's the
favor.
one with the speaker.
Yeah.
He does try to run also, and this is there's not even a building to run into, isn't it?
No,
Just
it's
in the
like
middle of
grass.
nowhere.
It's open fields on both sides. Yeah, and he takes off. Receives his ticket. But then we get to mile 201, and there's only 7 people left. Number 38, which is
That is Stebbins.
Yeah, Stebbins and Ray are basically talking in Stebbins. I feel like here Stebbins tried to get into Ray's head a little bit, because he's like, hey, you're getting tired, aren't you?
He is. He's trying to mess with his head.
But
yeah.
then he drops it super quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
And then who's 46? Is that Hank?
46 is Hank.
Okay.
Who his leg really early, back when Ray says like, okay, let's slow down our pace already. Hank essentially says he has like jelly leg or something. Like his leg has been feeling off for a long time, and I think this. I know you're gonna speak on it. I'm pretty sure at the point now where he's like completely zoned out.
Yeah, he's
he's almost like
he's
walking
like
robotically. Yeah.
Yeah. And so he basically decides to like that this is his road. His journey has come to an end.
I don't remember if he says. Did he say
He's the
anything?
gum.
Oh, because
And
he's
like
looking at the
he's
gum.
holding it, yeah, and then that's when he kind of like he realizes that that's
The
it.
same gum he's been chewing this whole
This
time.
whole time he says that he's gonna last as long as the gum does.
Yeah. Because he says something. Doesn't he say something or does he just stop walking?
No, I think
He's the one. Yeah, I'll let you get to
No,
it.
you go.
He runs up to one of like, I don't know if they're tanks or the technical term, but he runs up and tries to take the gun because he gets shot in the stomach.
Yeah.
And
then he calls for Arthur.
No, I don't think he calls for Arthur, but Arthur runs back to Baker.
I think-
runs back to
Baker.
him.
I thought Baker says he was getting
He
called.
says later, like he was calling
Yeah.
it in, he needs to, but
But-
I didn't
I think you're
recall
right.
hearing
Because
that.
this was like a really big.
Because this was one of the first main characters.
Yeah, this
Like,
is the first of the main four, or
of
the main six, really.
Musketeers, Yeah, that goes.
The Musketeers, but there's 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Arthur goes to try to save him, and then I'm pretty sure Ray goes back to try to grab Arthur.
Yes.
Because then Peter has to go, but they shoot Hank in the stomach because
For
he tried
trying
to take
grab
a
the
gun,
firearm, yeah.
and they don't give him his. I don't think they ever give him his ticket.
No, I think they just left him.
Yeah,
Because
they
somebody
just-
asked, like, I don't know if it was Arthur or one of the main 3 asked why they're not ending it. And
I think
somebody
the
says
same
like,
thing happened with the guy who was seizing. They didn't. They
because I
just
think
left him.
Stebbins
No,
says
they
like,
Oh, they
gave-
gave
yeah,
him
they
his
gave
name?
him
Oh,
his
okay,
ticket.
okay.
I think Stebbins says like, oh, they're trying to prove a point to not.
Oh,
Try to
to
take
not
a
do
gun.
that, yes, not run over.
Because there's also somebody, I don't know if it was before or after this, that gets like run over by one of the tanks.
It's after. I'm pretty sure it's after.
Poor Hank, man.
Yeah, Hank receives
That was
his
a sad
ticket.
one.
Because that's
Yeah.
when they like basically all go to try to save him.
Like this one actually almost like made me cry. Like it was
Wow.
really, it was really like
because he's like the
freak.
innocent character. He's the
Yeah. Because he wasn't like messing with anybody. He was just doing his thing.
He was
Just
Just
the
there.
comedic relief.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's see. So after that whole thing, we get mile 209. So it's day 4, and this is where we find out. Basically, like at the start of the day, this is where we find out that Hank actually had a wife, and he was the only contestant that was
Oh
married.
yeah.
I know, and they were goofing on him. Like the way he's portrayed throughout the movie is like he's. I think we're all kind of shocked he has a wife. Just by the way he's
He wanted the
portrayed.
3 naked ladies.
Yeah. And his wife's name is what? Clementine.
Clementine, like the song.
Yeah.
I think
So they
that's
all
what
make a
said.
promise, right, to use their wish to do something.
Or they
for his
use their
wife.
wish for whatever they wanted, but use some of the wishes or
Some of the
money.
money, yeah, to make
So-
sure that she's taken care of at least.
Mm-hmm. Let's see.
And then that's when, what's his name? The guy with the bandana? The crazy
Barkovich.
one? Barkovich, he's like, well, why didn't your friend ask me if I wanted to be in?
Oh yeah, Peter
And
asked.
then this is when he tries to
everybody.
get in with Ray, essentially. Like, that's when he puts his arm over him. And he's like, hey, like, oh, not everybody really likes me, but I don't have any friends out here.
Mhm.
This is when I really thought he was going to try to sabotage the
Yeah.
moment.
Because he's telling Ray, like, hey, why don't you go tell Pete? Yeah, I'll do something for his wife. Like, essentially trying to get in with the group now.
But then this
Yeah.
is when we, like, it's really showing
He's,
that
like, fighting
he
the
wasn't
demons in his
okay.
head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, well, what happens?
Yeah.
Because he apologizes again, like, I
He
didn't mean to
does.
hurt him, I didn't.
Yeah.
So basically, after that apology, he makes his way to the front of the group, turns around so that way he's facing everybody, and then pulls out a.
It was a spoon.
It was like a fork or something. You
Yeah.
It was a spoon he was eating with earlier.
Oof.
He had it in hand.
And he goes ham on his
Allergies.
throat. Yeah, he starts taking himself out, and then of course he receives his 3 warnings. And
Oh, he does get a ticket.
Yeah,
I
he
couldn't
gets his
remember if
ticket.
we got his. Yeah. So are we down? Are we down to the last 4 now, or is there still like some extra? Oh, it's the.
The guy
The
with
long
the
hair
long
guy.
hair, the son, the 2.
I
the
wasn't
3 main
considering the
ones.
long hair guy as one of the 6 whenever we talked about it. I forgot he lasted this long.
Mhm.
Mile 260, they start singing a song. I don't know what song this
I
is.
thought it was a Clementine song.
It might be the.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
I know they
In
do
memory
sing
of
that.
Hank. Yeah.
And what are we down? We're down to 5 now?
I think
4.
I don't know.
I think it's Pete Ray,
I think it's the main guys.
Pete Ray, Stebbins, and oh no, it is 5.
7 left, minus Hank.
And then minus Barkovich.
So 5.
5. Yeah.
So long hair guy, the son, the 2 main ones, and then the guy with the bleeding nose. They're the last.
Arthur.
Yeah.
So let's see. So then at mile marker 286, they start walking through Ray's hometown, and this is when Ray sees his mom, and she's just kind of like, you know, in awe that he's still alive.
Yeah.
And she's emotional, and you can't really tell. Probably in awe that he's still alive, but also like a holy crap kind of moment.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Pete's telling him to just keep walking.
Yeah, he's trying to get him to not cave, right? Because
Right.
obviously his first instinct is going to be to run for his
Because
mom.
Ray turns and smiles and then keeps walking for a little bit.
Until he turns back around.
He turns back around and runs to his mom.
Actually, this is like a really small detail, but right before he runs to his mom, because she's like, your feet, the sole of his shoe breaks.
He had
and
taken
we
his
see
shoes off.
His feet, yeah,
They're
because it takes them
bleeding.
both off. Socks are nasty, holes in his socks. The part of his toes that you can see are bloody.
Yeah,
Like,
I
they're
don't
all messed
remember
up.
when exactly this happened, but I remember when he took his shoes off, I thought, like,
And I told
oh
Jordan,
shit, I didn't
so
think
like,
about that.
from this
Like,
point to the end, I was like, he's been doing this without shoes. Like, at this point, he's in his socks, and that's crazy.
yeah.
So he walks past his mom a little bit, turns back around and books it to her.
It is like an
basically-
emotional break.
Yeah, it
he's,
really
like,
is.
pleading with her, like, I'm sorry I made a mistake, I shouldn't have come, basically.
Yeah.
No, at first warning, right? They're like
Yeah,
yelling
He
at
hits
him.
the second.
He gets all 3.
Oh, he
and
does?
the guard has the firearm right
And
next to
it's
him.
like out of focus, but she's like right behind
So his
him.
mom's now, like, pleading with him to go, and
Yeah.
Pete's trying to pull him away.
And so eventually he goes ahead and pulls him, and then we get some lore about Pete. So he has a scar that essentially runs through the entire right side of his face, and we learn how he got the scar. You want to know how I got these scars? What movie is that from?
I don't know.
The Dark Knight.
We also find out
Okay, Joker.
we find out that, like, Pete, his parents passed away when he was young.
Yeah,
and
they
he's
got in
basically
an
just been, bouncing around.
That he picked a fight. He was put into the system, and the system we have currently isn't the greatest. So I can't even imagine what it is in this society.
Yeah.
And he picked a fight with the wrong guy, and then that's how he got his scar. Then we move on to mile marker 306, and this is where Stebbins basically tells the group, like, hey, we're getting to the end, and so, like, we can't really help each other out at this point.
Oh, he was basically
Yeah.
saying, like, we need to make a pact to not help each other out, which was a shot at Ray, essentially, because Pete had helped Ray multiple times now, probably like 3 or 4 times.
And so this is where number 48,
That is...
Parker?
Yeah, that's Parker, the long hair guy.
So number 48, his name is Parker, basically is like, I'm tired of this. And he runs up and he grabs one of the guards' firearm and, points it at the guard.
He actually gives the ticket.
Yeah.
Points it at the guard, takes his shot, and then I think that's when they start, like, shooting him too, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing is, there's this weird pause where he grabs from the guard and he gives that guard his ticket. And there's another guard right here that he could have gotten, but I'm pretty sure he just,
But I
like,
think
holds
they
the
get
weapon.
Because I think they...
There's a moment of pause. I swear there's a moment when it's like, oh my god, he has a gun.
But
Kinda
then
like
they
a
get him and he
victorious
goes
moment.
down to the floor because then he turns it on himself.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily give him his ticket.
Yeah,
We see that
he
one
does
too,
it
I'm pretty
himself.
sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do see that one actually.
Yeah. Maybe that was the one that shook me. That might have been the one that shook me. I just remember one of them, like, really startling me.
It might have been that one.
And then we get to mile marker 324. So Arthur, at this point, like, he's lost a lot of blood from the nosebleed.
I know, he asked them, like, how do I look? Does it look bad? And
They're like,
no, it's fine. It's like all the way down his shirt.
They're helping him out. This was a tough time.
And you can tell he's out of it. Like,
And he
Well,
knows.
and this is where he says that, like, he's done. Like, I'm throwing in the towel. Like, I'm done. And he tells Ray and Peter, like, promise me that you won't watch them do it.
Yeah.
and he gives, like, his necklace to...
They gave it to his
To
grandma.
Ray.
It's the
rosary.
rosary. Yeah.
Yeah.
He gives it to. I think he gives it to Ray, right? And
Because I know Ray puts it on.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, give this to my grandma.
I don't think the grandma got it. I hate to say it.
I mean, I think you're right. And so we basically get I think it's a really good shot, but, like, Ray and Peter are on both sides of the screen, and I think in the middle of them, right, is Arthur, and we see him receive his ticket in the background.
And then there were 3.
Yes, and then there were 3. We get
God,
some
how did
mile
Stebbins
marker,
make it this long?
and we get some mile marker 326, and the Major again just spewing propaganda.
He only shows up. First of all, his actual time, I don't know if it's because they didn't want to pay Mark Hamill a lot. His actual time in this movie is probably like 10 minutes total.
If even.
But yeah, anytime he shows up, it's for the propaganda point. Like he's being the inspirational pro-America, come on boys.
Yeah, and so this is where number 38, Stephens, tells the other 2, like, no, the Major's my dad, and he has dozens of kids. So it's not just him.
Like
he has a
illegitimate,
lot.
like just kids with random people, I guess.
And he was saying that his wish is to live in his dad's house.
Oh yeah.
And then so...
Which, why would you want that?
He's trained his whole life to be... He has daddy issues.
Yeah.
And so this is where he's basically like, you know what, I've reached the end of my line here, so I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, call it quits.
Which I don't think this ruins the ending for the movie, but I do know the movie and the book have different endings.
I do know that too. I don't know how the book ends.
In the book, Stebbins outlasts Peter. So like in the book, Stebbins is one of the last 2, and Peter would have been the one gone at this point, which is interesting in contrast with what happens here. But yeah, I'm kind of glad. I understand why they kept Stebbins around. I'm glad that he goes at this point. He's also like super sick. Like,
yeah, he like literally
pale.
looks like he has the flu.
Yeah, he's rough.
I think he could have pushed a little longer. But I think didn't he say he wanted to go out on a high note or something? Like
Something like
essentially,
that.
like I want to go out with dignity. Because he's another one who's killed in the background. I'm pretty sure. Sorry.
Yeah, they're on the
He's ticking in the
bridge.
background.
Yeah.
And it's raining.
Which I'm like, 30 more minutes, and he probably would have.
Okay, this is when Stebbins. I think Stebbins reminds that like there's gonna be an audience.
Oh yeah, he's like, just keep going. Like whatever you're doing, just keep walking.
Because they're like entering
There's 2 left.
what looks like a modern city now, like an actual proper city, not like. some
Which
random
like, where
town.
did they come from? How did they know they were about to be the last 2?
They're probably just
It's
waiting.
broadcasted. Yeah, I mean they probably
yeah.
were waiting.
This broadcast.
Like I'd imagine that there have been so many that the audience just knows like, hey, around 300 and something is usually
Which
when
is crazy. 300 miles. They've been going 4 days straight.
In socks for like the past day at least.
I'm gonna lose my breath walking downstairs.
You and me both. So then we get the next mile marker, which is mile 331.
Which like also, what's his name, Peter?
23.
You couldn't even tell he was walking for that long. Honestly, like I feel like there was no deterioration on any part of his outfit or anything.
I feel like he was the one who kept it together the most, because even
Definitely.
like Ray has a mental break, and Ray's basically like kept alive by Peter.
Well,
And-
sorry, I'll let you finish.
Even in his final moments, I feel like he could have kept going.
Well,
I think that's made pretty clear.
Peter's wish also, like, from all of the ones that we've heard, Peter's wish is also the only one to be helping other people.
He's
Not
he's the hopeful character, which is interesting because he's the one who, when he tells the story, has been screwed over the most in life, essentially.
Yeah.
So he's supposed to be, which I think makes the ending hit more. He's like the glimmer of light in the darkness. He's the hope to like. He's even the one who tells Ray no violence isn't the answer, because Ray essentially says he wants the weapon to give the Major his ticket.
Yeah.
Like Ray's the ultimate good guy who just wants to help other people.
right. And so we see that the crowd has gathered, and Peter slows down and he stops, and he basically is like, you know what, Ray, you got this. But then Ray picks him up and is like, no, we're gonna finish this together. And so Peter's like, oh yeah, we got this, we can keep going, XYZ. And then before he even realizes it, Ray just stopped walking.
And I don't know why in my mind, I think this ending is kind of what makes the movie so bleak. I don't know why I thought there was going to be a plot twist or some way for Ray to get out of it. I think because us as the audience has been so connected to Ray, and at this point, he is like the main character, so I think the audience has been made to believe he's going to be the guy that makes it.
Right.
So when he gets his ticket,
Given by the Major, by the way.
Given by the Major.
Oh yeah, because he was the last ticket before the.
Because I don't remember
Mhm.
if what happens, like if Ray says
He's
anything.
kneeling on the floor, and I think he's just watching
But-
Peter walk away.
Because I know Pete is like realizes and is in shock.
Mhm.
It just feels very like. I feel like that's when the hope leaves the movie.
Yeah.
Because
Which,
we want him
did
to
he
get
get
it.
warnings 1 through 3 when he was
I'm
kneeling?
pretty sure at this point he already had like 2.
I think
or
he.
something.
In my mind, I remember Pete having a reaction that made it seem like they didn't give him his full. I don't know if it's Pete just being confused because Ray stopped completely, but I feel like it does happen quickly.
Well, that's what I'm wondering.
I remember
because
asking you, like, did he get his warnings? But he might have already been on a
See,
couple.
but then there wasn't that much time between when he saw his mom and when he didn't. Because if he got his 3 warnings then you get your ticket without warning. So that
Well, I
would have
think-
been then.
I think they all got 2 warnings when they were on the bridge. Still,
Oh, I think
that's,
you're right.
that's what I think it is.
Yeah. All I know is, just watching it happen, I don't know. It was kind of like, damn. Because we see it happen too.
And it's
Yeah.
in front of the crowd,
It's
too.
in front of the crowd.
Which I know it was, like, broadcasted, but there were people out there waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just painted as, like, we believe Peter's gonna... The original thing that happens when Peter stays behind, it felt very like, okay, we knew this was gonna happen. So when it flips on itself,
Yeah.
pretty wild.
So Ray receives his ticket given by the Major. Peter wins, and they, in front of like everybody, the Major asks what Peter's wish is.
I feel like we all knew where this was going.
Yeah. So Peter basically takes Ray's wish, and he wishes for one of the firearms from the guards.
Which, yeah, because at first doesn't he name the firearm and they're like, oh, we'll get you that. And he's like, no, I want that one.
Yeah, I want
Like,
that one, so that way my kids basically have like a. It was something like so he can remember like the time he was there or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they give him the firearm. He points it at the Major. Everybody freaks out. And the Major's like, no, don't worry. It's cool. It's cool. And this, like, the way he was talking just reminded me of the way that, I forget his name, but the priest from the sacrament would be talking.
Jones? Something Jones?
Joe,
Yeah.
like just the rhetoric that he had, right?
Yeah.
It was like very much like, and just like his attitude towards the whole thing, like, no, he's not gonna do it.
Right.
We're gonna be fine.
You're not gonna lose everything. Like, come on, you have everything. You're not gonna risk it for this.
So then, nope, that doesn't bother Peter at all.
Because he tells him to hold the fire, and it
Yeah.
takes a while. Like, you can
Yeah.
tell that Pete is really
He's
having an internal
contemplating, I
battle.
think.
Yeah.
Mhm. So then he pulls the trigger. We see the Major go down, and then the crowd is gone. Peter turns around and he keeps walking.
Yep.
And the movie
Which,
ends.
my first question to Jordan was, he died, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yes.
what that was.
He died.
But I
He
thought,
died probably instantly after actually
but that's what
shooting
I'm
the
saying.
Major.
I literally have chills. Just because I thought it was cool that they did that. Like, there was no sound, nothing. He does that to the Major, turns
We
around,
get it
and
from
that's
his
it.
point of view, basically.
It's almost
Yeah.
peaceful, in a way.
And I think, I know we're going to talk about this a little bit. In a weird way, I think, at least for me, when Peter asked for that wish, it almost, like, I feel like it redeems Ray dying, even though it gives the bleakest possible ending in that the guy who had been for hope and nonviolence the whole time essentially gives in. Like, it's very much a commentary on, I don't know, just the state of the world. It feels very relevant right now, just the way things are. It's very like, it's a losing game.
No
Because ultimately
wins.
he gets his ticket,
Yeah.
and he risked it all to get revenge because he knew it wouldn't be right to just go
Yeah.
on like nothing happened.
Yeah. So that was the movie. That was The Long Walk. Pros and cons, Jordan?
Pros, let me start with cons, because I don't know if I have any. I don't know, there were a couple moments, I don't know if like watching it back I would feel different. There were a couple moments early in the movie where some of the emotional moments, or what were supposed to be emotional moments with the character, felt kind of like try hard to me. There were very few and very slight. Like, I feel like the mom dropping him off might have been one of them where I kind of just cringed at the acting. But again, knowing all I know now about the characters and their like relationships, I don't know if I would feel that same way rewatching it. In terms of pros, I don't know. Again, I enjoyed all of it. I do think the thing keeping it from being perfect is just like, I think it is as perfect as a movie about this plot could get.
Yeah.
Or like this book could get. Just because, yeah, there obviously are some constraints. It's all about what you enjoy or what you're looking for in a movie. It is a very straightforward plot. It is very, like, it doesn't take place in one place because they're walking, but it's very, like, it's all taking place on this walk. But ultimately, I feel like the tickets were done very well. I have no gripes with any of the visual effects. I don't think there was any moment where I felt like it felt unrealistic. Ultimately, I thought it was just a very enjoyable movie. It's not like genre, I don't think it's going to be a classic later on, but I do think it's definitely worth watching, especially if you can handle gore, and two, just if you want an impactful movie that maybe isn't like the most positive, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall really good. I liked it. I think it's an interesting take. Funny enough, it's apparently a sci-fi movie. Like, it's set in the future, even though, yeah, I know, it feels very old-timey, right?
Yeah.
It's set in the future, but Stephen King did write it, like, right after the Vietnam War, so...
He wrote it basically as a response to watching his classmates be drafted. Yeah.
It's very clearly an anti-war movie, and a commentary on how brutal the whole thing is, so... Yeah. Ultimately, I would consider it, I've never read the book, but probably a perfect rendition of what the book could have been. I haven't seen all the Stephen King movies, but it's probably one of the better ones. Better than it, I want to say. No.
You need to watch The Mist.
The
I'm telling
remake
you.
or which one? Brad, you haven't seen The Mist?
Hey, the remake is good.
It?
Yeah. No, I haven't seen The Mist.
Get him off. Why is he here?
Yeah, I think this will end up being in contention for one of my favorites of the year.
Okay.
It was really good.
Yeah. Amanda, pros and cons?
So for pros, I think that any of the visual effects, makeup, like Jordan was saying, it was all done well. Like, I didn't look at anything and be like, okay, come on, like, we couldn't pay a little more for that. So I thought all that looked fine. I didn't have any complaint with that. But cons, as much as the dialogue was important for relationship building, I guess I would have liked more from the other characters. I don't know, there was a lot of times where I was honestly dozing off between the character development, and then I was awake again when somebody else got their ticket. So it was just kind of losing me, but it might just be something that I'm not so much interested in. Because, like, I prefer more, like, paranormal type movies. I enjoy Saw, which is also gory, but it's, like, in a different way. So I don't know if maybe because this one is so straightforward, it just kind of bored me.
Right, this one isn't really, like, it's not a slasher. I think what makes it a horror movie is just that it's so bleak. Like, I think that's what separates it from being an action movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was cool. Would I watch it again? No. But I do think... if I paid for the ticket, like, to see the movie, I wouldn't have complained about it. But I know that probably doesn't offer any insight, but... I thought it was okay.
I think you represent a larger part of, like... I mean, the movie has good reviews, but of, like, a general audience. I don't know why. I just have a really big fixation on, like... I know the movie isn't historical, per se, but because it focuses on, like... what I would consider political topics. The same way, like, Sinners really draws me in because of what it's a commentary on.
Yeah.
So I think, like, looking, I don't want to say from a surface level in a negative way, but, like, just somebody who's going for the horror movie aspect. I think
just
it makes
somebody
sense.
who saw the trailer and then watched it.
Because it is a setup in that a lot of movies don't have dialogue paced like this, and just because, again, what the plot is. So.
Yeah. Pros and cons for myself, I think Jordan said it the best, is that this movie is basically, like, perfect for what it is, right? And I don't really have anything else to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I can't go too hard on it for what it is, again, the same way, like, in a violent nature, right? Like, what more could you do? It's just, it's one of those things, but that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's just, like, not the plot for me. Yeah. I also don't read books, so just seeing the trailer is why I was there. Mm-hmm. And it was okay. It was, fine. So.
Yeah, apparently in the original book, so it comes down to Ray and Stebbins, and Ray ends up winning. But apparently there's no... It has a similar, like, bleak ending where Ray just keeps walking, basically. Mm-hmm. Like, he's so out of it mentally that he just keeps walking forever. Like,
which, I mean, I can't imagine you would come out
of
that okay.
There are some Stephen King books where the endings are more ambiguous.
And I don't think it's supposed to have a positive ending.
Yeah.
Like, even though maybe, again, like, Ray's death feels redeemed a little bit in that the Major got his karma, it still ends on, like,
Yeah.
It's,
Like The Mist.
Yeah.
If you read The Mist, it ends. It's basically like the entire story is written on like this notepad or whatever.
Yeah.
And they leave it on a bar, in a bar. Like they just leave it there, and then that's the thing ends. The movie, which I know you'll love the ending of, is not the same ending as the book. And
Which one's better?
The movie ending.
Oh, really?
Is way better.
Is the movie good?
The movie's great.
I know what I'm watching.
Like you have to. I think like I understand. So this is a tangent, right? We're not. So the long walk conversation kind of closed, and we're moving into The Mist a little bit. Unless there's something you wanted to add.
I just want to say the guy who plays Peter, David Johnson, great performance.
Yes,
That's awesome.
I do really like.
All the
David
acting
He
was
carried.
good, yeah.
Mhm. So The Mist.
I don't even remember it. I just remember them being locked in a store and there's mist outside the window.
We're talking about the movie compared to the book and how.
Oh,
you know, like,
okay,
the
yeah.
ending.
So the ending for The Mist is very, very bleak, and I think it's much better than the movie. Than the book ending. I think I wouldn't necessarily classify The Mist as a movie to watch to like get your feet into horror. Like it's not going to be one to like dip your feet into. It'd probably be the next level, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
It's a very good movie, and I think that once somebody like realizes that horror is their thing, it's a must watch.
We'll watch it tonight.
We gotta watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. So with that being said, that was The Long Walk and a little bit of The Mist at the very end. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do all the algorithm stuff. We would really appreciate it. And you can catch us on the next episode where we're going to be talking about The Strangers Chapter 2.
I'm so excited for this.
Of course you are.
I'm the only one who liked the.
Oh my
I think I'm the
gosh.
only one on Earth who liked the first one.
No, actually, I thought the first one was okay.
But I've never seen the OGs, so I have nothing to
The
compare
OG is
to.
really good.
No,
That-
those
the
are
That's the thing.
better.
People are comparing. Yeah.
So the OG would be on the third level.
Yeah.
So you could
Okay.
watch Nightmare on Elm Street to get your feet into horror,
Yeah.
then The Mist would be the next level, and then The Strangers would be
Jeez.
the third
I'm gonna
level.
have to watch that too.
But yeah. So until then, y'all have a nice day.